Imagine a world where your existence could be switched off like a light bulb. No pain, no responsibilities, no consequences, just pure oblivion. How tempting does that sound? To be or not to be, that is the question. Shakespeare may not have known it by then, but Hamlet's soliloquy touched on a dilemma that will later define entire schools of philosophical thought. The desire to not exist isn't the same as wanting to die. It's a nuanced feeling, distinct from the act of taking one's own life. It's about the longing to escape the burdens of existence without the finality of death. Throughout history, philosophers have grappled with the notion of existence and its burdens. Existentialism, a philosophical movement of the 20th century, offers us a profound insight into this phenomena. Jean-Paul Sartre, a leading figure in existentialism, introduced the concept of nausea, a deep, visceral response to the realization of one's absolute freedom and the accompanying responsibility. For Sartre, nausea is the feeling of profound disorientation and discomfort when one confronts the sheer contingency and absurdity of existence. It's that moment when the familiar becomes strange, when the structures and meanings we impose on the world reveal themselves as arbitrary and fragile. Imagine you're sitting in your favorite cafe, the one you visited countless times. Suddenly, the chatter of people around you, the clinking of cups, the very essence of that place feels alien. The routines and rituals you found comfort in now seem absurd. This is Sartre's nausea, a moment of clarity where you see through the veneer of everyday life and recognize the inherent meaninglessness. It's a jarring experience, stripping away the comforting illusions and exposing the raw, unfiltered reality beneath. Albert Camus and other existentialists spoke of the absurd, the conflict between our desire for meaning and the silent, indifferent universe. In his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus explores the story of Sisyphus, a figure condemned to roll a boulder up a hill only for it to roll back down each time he reaches the top. Camus argues that this myth reflects the human condition, our constant search for meaning in a meaningless world. He suggests that we must imagine Sisyphus happy as he embraces the absurdity of this task and finds meaning in the struggle itself. But why do some of us long for non-existence? This desire can stem from the myriad of psychological and existential factors. For some, it's the overwhelming burden of societal expectations. For others, it's the deep-seated existential dread of confronting the void. Arthur Schopenhauer, a philosopher known for his pessimistic worldview, believed that life is characterized by suffering. According to Schopenhauer, our desires are insatiable, leading to endless dissatisfaction. He posited that life is a constant oscillation between desire and boredom, where the fulfillment of one's desire leads to another, creating a perpetual cycle of unrest. The desire to disappear can be seen as an escape from this perpetual state of unease, yearning for a release from the constant striving and suffering. Buddhist philosophy offers a different perspective. The concept of nirvana, often misunderstood as a form of non-existence, is actually liberation from the cycle of suffering. It's about extinguishing the fires of desire, aversion, and ignorance, thereby achieving a state of profound peace. This state is not about disappearing, but about transcending the ego and the delusions that bind us to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. However, the desire to disappear is not merely a personal struggle, it has ethical dimensions as well. When we consider the impact of our existence on others, we must grapple with the questions of duty and responsibility. Is it ethical to withdraw from the world, knowing it might affect those around us? Simone de Beauvoir, in her work The Ethics of Ambiguity, emphasizes our interconnectedness and the responsibilities we bear towards one another. According to de Beauvoir, our freedom is intertwined with the freedom of others, creating a complex web of interdependencies. She argues that true freedom involves recognizing and affirming the freedom of others, suggesting that withdrawing from the world may undermine the social fabric that binds us. In this light, the desire to disappear raises important questions about our role within our communities. Are we justified in retreating from the world, or do we owe it to others and ourselves to confront our existence head-on? Let me share a hypothetical scenario. A person overwhelmed by life's demands, feeling invisible in the crowd, yearning for a moment of peace. This isn't just a personal crisis, it's a universal experience, touching on our deepest fears and desires. By examining these feelings through a philosophical lens, we can better understand our place in the world and perhaps find solace in the shared human condition. These moments of introspection can lead to profound insights. They remind us that while the desire to disappear may be a natural response to overwhelming circumstances, it can also be a catalyst for deeper self-understanding and growth. Remember, you're not alone in feeling this way. By engaging with these philosophical ideas, we can find meaning even in our darkest moments.